They've been checked before.
We came out this morning for about 4 or 5 hours. Checked quite a few people. We're not here to spoil anybody's weekend. We want to make sure, our job is to make sure people enjoy their weekend.
For Chris Wilson and the other game wardens, the 4th of July is busy.
We want to make sure they have all their safety equipment, the life jackets, the fire extinguishers, the horns on the boat.
And if you're caught without some of those required items,
While you're looking, we also need to see a fire extinguisher.
well, they won't hesitate to write a citation. The reason? They can save lives. 70% of the people killed in boating accidents would be alive today if they would have worn a life jacket.
If you're in a boating accident and you're knocked unconscious, that life jacket is what's going to save you. If you don't have it on, then we're working to drowning.
And when it comes to alcohol,
How much have you had to drink?
that's another one they take very seriously.
You make sure whoever's operating this is not under the influence.
The probability of being killed in a boating accident doubles when alcohol is involved.
We're not telling them not to drink on a boat because they can drink. We just make sure the driver is under the .08.
Now, getting caught over the limit can land you in jail, and it's the same as a DWI. But if your driver is sober, there are enough life jackets on board, and you're aware of your surroundings, well, it's smooth sailing this 4th of July.
Hopefully, if somebody sees this, maybe the information will help them.
At Stillhouse Hollow, Tiffany Pelt, KCEN HD News.
8 of those Arkansans were from Valonia, and on Monday, the community came together to remember.
Being a resident here, Valonia is a very strong community, and this is the second one we've been in a 3-year time period. So just the fact that we can get over it and we can come together as a community, that's what it's about.
Dozens showed to not only honor those who died, but also talk about the future of Valonia. One couple, the Bakers, say that they had just moved to town 3 weeks before the tornado.
Words can't explain how we felt. Just to see what we thought was where we were supposed to be, just in a pile of rubble.
While it's been a year since it hit, and some say they cannot believe how fast time has flown by, the wounds are still fresh as they release balloons to remember and never forget.
A year later, it's emotional to think back on it, but for the most part, I feel blessed that we are still here to see the daylight.
The yellow cab company journeyed all the way from Little Rock to an 11-year-old girl's home in Bryant Friday to offer this.
We sincerely apologize, and I'm apologizing personally and for the company. So
just pay attention.
Yes,
They'll do it. Kids will do it again.
Yes,
And it's her fault.
Yes, ma'am.
She should have used judgment too. And
the apology comes after a driver picked up the 11-year-old in the middle of the night, accepting $1,300 in cash to take her to Jacksonville, Florida. The girl left this note on her pillow, stealing thousands of her grandmother's stashed money, walking from her home to a gas station, being driven to Little Rock by a stranger, and then picked up for the long journey.
how no one thought to stop and say, "How old are you?" No one.
Police used her cell phone calls to track them down in Georgia.
If the girl would have used a payphone or another type of phone, we wouldn't have had that lead. And we would not have found out where she was going, maybe until days later.
The cab company says they have a policy not to give rides to people under 16.
We're looking at our policies now to see what we could do better. But as a general rule, we don't check IDs on customers. We feel like that's a privacy concern, and the driver will just have to use his best judgment.
The company says the driver did lack judgment, but he's not losing his job. He says he thought she was older. They returned the $1,300, priceless compared to having her home safe.
As we mentioned earlier, one of the big concerns was with the school district, how many kids would even come to school now that their homes had been destroyed and they'd been displaced. Tonight, we're actually at Valonia High School for an event being held here.
Yeah, that one-year anniversary event, Janelle, is being held here tonight. That is a memorial service for the 8 people that had their lives taken here in Valonia last year. But it's also a look forward to what the future of Valonia looks like.
Now from the Little Rock School District with What's in It, Alexis.
Scott, I've gotten a good amount of questions
asking me how much it's going to cost to let Suggs go. Now, according to Dr. Suggs' settlement and severance agreement, within the next 10 days, Suggs will be paid $41,000 to the language on the agreement. If his doctoral degree is revoked, then the district does not have to pay the unpaid amount to Suggs in regards to those 4 payments of more than $50,000. Now, I did, coming up next at 6 o'clock, find out what's next for the school district with Suggs being out and a new interim being in. Back to you.
Live there tonight. Matt, what's going on right now?
Well, Beth, that meeting has just started. Board members Jim Ross and Joyce Springer are addressing members of the community first tonight, and they say they're doing it on their own behalf. Both of them ran on a reform agenda for the district when they ran for their board positions last year. Right now, you're taking a live view inside of that board, of that meeting happening right now. Later in this meeting, community members are encouraged to give their own opinions regarding what to do about a potential state takeover. Several high-profile community groups have been weighing in as well in the days before this meeting. The Little Rock Regional Chamber of Commerce saying that they are encouraging the state to take over the district. But today, the League of Women Voters for Pulaski County releasing their own statement acknowledging some issues with the district, but also talking about the faith they have in those leaders that were elected to lead the district. And those board members are hoping tonight that those people here also have that same faith.
Is there anything you want to say to the people? Any reason behind it?
SWAT stuff.